you. Emmy Award-winning Dan Orlovsky.
Hey, Dan.
Whoa! Bart man. What up, Bart?
What's going on?
I think this is a good decision. You feel good about it?
Probably should cut a hole.
Yeah, I think it was a good decision. You feel good about it or no?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it's just kind of echoed, but I think natural mask stuff. We had it with Florida Man in the back as well.
Good enough.
It's part of Halloween. It's kind of Halloween football. We can hear you. You look amazing, and we appreciate you joining us. Bart, what's your big takeaway from last night's game? Lamar Jackson back and filthy? Is that the conversation? A couple of those throws were obviously elite. Highest QBR at one point. I don't know if that's still the stat. I apologize for not looking that up right before we go live. But he is just unbelievable through the sky, and then obviously being able to run. Bart, what did you see from the Ravens and Lamar last night that maybe make you think this team can go on a run and maybe win the AFC North?
I think Lamar in the offense was fine. I thought, the play-action pass game, that's kind of their bread and butter right now, throwing the ball. That was really good. That's kind of who they are at their best when it comes to the pass game. Certainly the run game got going a little bit in the fourth quarter. I don't think that they dominated at the line of scrimmage running the football, but Lamar looked relatively sharp when it comes to not having played for a month. So, offensively, I thought they were fine. Wrinkles, kind of smooth throughout the course of the game, and they did some good stuff. He made some really nice throws versus man coverage.
Bart, that's pretty good breakdown, bro. Bart, that's pretty good breakdown.
Yeah, thank you. My big takeaway is how good the defense looked. The defense in the last 3 games has given up 13 a game. Bringing Kyle down to the football. Malachi Starks playing the nickel. Much better against the run. We took the ball away. Gilman's been an outstanding addition just because Gilman allows Kyle to go closer to the football. Kyle's big enough to handle the run. He's athletic enough to play against any type of pass. Malachi Starks, I thought, had a fantastic game. Just when it comes to running to the football, playing with discipline, and then I think their defensive line, for the most part, played a way more consistent game run defense-wise. So, the offense for Lamar playing for the first time in about a month was good. The big takeaway is how impressive the defense has been in the last 3 or 4 games. That's kind of what gives me the biggest encouragement. This defense continues to play this way. This offense was historically great last year. They'll be fine.
Okay, Bart knows ball.
Yeah, he does.
That's part of it. 13 a game the last 3 games for that defense. That was ass and cheeks, like the tush push, just a few weeks back, which we were all very worried about with, the Baltimore Ravens. Everybody, sportsbooks had them as the favorite to win the AFC North, even when they didn't look good. And when Lamar was hurt, and obviously their record at this exact moment is 3-5. I just want to make sure I had that right. And they're still the favorite to win the AFC North. It's like everybody believes that this Ravens team can be great just because we all know who's on that team. We just hadn't seen it for a while. And now all of a sudden, it's like, let's get the Miami Dolphins in prime time. Lamar's return. He's going to go absolutely insane. And on the other side, they're going to fire the general manager. Your thoughts, Bart, on Chris Grier since 2016, kind of his era ending in this entire thing?
Yeah, this was the move that felt most likely for Miami. One, the roster's not good enough. If you look at his drafts, Chris Grier, I think since 2021, I think there's 5 starters or 6 starters that have come from their first 3-round picks. So you're talking 15, 20 picks that are made right around there. There are only 6 guys that become starters. It just hasn't panned out health-wise or development-wise. I never thought that Mike McDaniel, at least right now, was that kind of on the hot seat. I knew results matter, yes. But 2 years ago, just about this time, this was the number 1 seed in football. They were playing at home versus the Titans on Monday night to kind of lock up the AFC East and almost the number 1 seed. They lose that game in that ridiculous comeback in the fourth quarter, and it's kind of gone downhill since then. That's kind of like, I don't think Mike McDaniel forgot how to coach. I don't believe that Tua, who was at that point an MVP candidate, forgot how to play. So this, for Miami, the biggest kind of issue is that the talent isn't really equal to the echelon AFC teams. I think the next step, Jalen Waddle, I would entertain trading him if I could get good value. Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. I would very much so entertain trading both of those guys if I get fair value.
Just as we're talking about it here, they trade Jalen Ramsey and they trade Jonnu Smith to the Pittsburgh Steelers this offseason, preseason. What were the expectations for this Dolphins team? And now we're talking about them trading away all their other best players. I'm very fascinated on what was supposed to happen this year. What were the expectations, and was this inevitable?
This was inevitable. We were quietly optimistic. I mean, Jalen Waddle's not getting traded. I could see trading Chubb and Phillips, Judon maybe, but Ramsey wanted to go. Not paying Jonnu Smith was diabolical. Our only Pro Bowler wanted to be there. He had to stay. You lose him, and it's been a disaster ever since.
Smart to start speaking with your hands. I don't think anybody really knew which person back there was speaking. So thank you. Thank you for doing that, just strictly because you have such a stone face. You too, Bart. You should be pretty animated when you're talking because, you know, it's just a still shot. Yeah, there you go. That's what we're talking about. By the way, great breakdown by Bart Simpson.
Yep.
People are reading the captions going, what is Bart knows ball here?
Unbelievable.
Bart knows ball here.
Eat my shorts, dude.
That's Tush Push, #1 fan, back in the back. He's Philly John, obviously. And Foxy, hot dog, dude. You look good.
Yeah, I'm a hot dog. I just like to point out that this hot dog has no mustard, ketchup only. I actually ordered it with mustard and had to paint over this because everyone's out there. But yeah, let's go ketchup on your hot dog.
I like that. Now, did you put the ketchup on top because you had to paint over the mustard that was on the top?
Exactly.
The right move, actually, and everybody goes, hot dog, a sandwich, yada, yada, yada. It's a taco, okay? And just like any taco, you know, anything that's like movable, you put in the bottom, then you put stuff on top, you can do that. You definitely put the ketchup at the bottom of the taco, okay? And then you put the hot dog on top of that. Then you shut that thing. What's that?
Interesting. Ketchup on the bottom and then the dog?
Yeah, you put it at the bottom. Now, granted, if you have buns that are kind of ash cheek and they are separated, you don't do that. That is the worst case scenario. The only reason why I don't like going on top is because when you bite in, it gets all your face. But if you put it on the bottom, that thing's part of the bite. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying, Bart?
I'm into that now. I actually like taking American cheese, a square of it, slicing it or cutting it in half and putting half on each side of the hot dog.
Yeah, not a bad play. That's a good play. Did not expect that. I thought you were going to say you eat the cheese slices from the inside out like it's a pizza whenever you rip them in half because of some of your other takes, like Reese's Cups. Like Reese's Cup. What do you do to the Reese's Cups again?
If it's just like a Reese's Cup, the traditional one, I take the kind of the perforated shell, I bite it off because it's too much chocolate. There's not a good ratio, and I don't like milk chocolate, so I just bite it off and kind of eat the internal part.
Yeah, and you put a video of yourself doing that, or somebody else put a video of you doing that, because that is serial killer behavior, I think. And when people watch you do that, they thought to themselves, we should check this guy. And then I think I said to you immediately afterwards, like, hey, you could just kind of split that in half and then eat that thing like a pizza from the middle, right?
You did tell me this. You did tell me this. I haven't done it yet, but now you've reminded me, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
I'll do that this week.
You look like Ace Ventura whenever he sits down and you need an ashtray whenever he's doing sunflower seeds with this entire thing.
Yeah, feeding the birds.
How old are you, Bart?
I think Bart was 13. I'm 42.
You're how? 42?
Bart grew up.
42. I just turned 42 this summer.
Happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday, brother.
Hey, you've been eating Reese's like this for probably, 32 years? And you never thought once to go from the middle inside out? See, that's what we're talking about with serial kill behavior. And Ryan Clark saw that, him doing that, and we're like, other people need to see this. Yeah. Other people need to see this. It's a big-time problem. Speaking of needing to see this, we need to see a good game, okay, NFL? I'm tired of it. 55 years ago, 1970, okay? This league came together to do something special. I was there when they signed the shit, okay? First time, 55 years. Last weekend, there was only one game that was decided by single digits, okay? Only one game. First,
who are you?
I'm just an old sports media person.
Peter.
You see, and I go through waves of who I am. Yeah. Am I a conversational, respect the young generation guy, or am I know more than you because I've been around this place longer than you have. I forgot more about sports than you've ever learned. Yeah, but we're in a very new stage of life. Don't care. Don't care. I know every life, kid. Your life. It's hard not to be that guy every time, but I don't want to do that. Okay, especially because we got Heavenly Hulkster here.
Yeah. Thank you, dude. Although I do like kind of the best of both worlds there, brother.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do, yeah. I'm kind of in the middle of it because he brought up Jalen Waddle. Let's trade him out of there. And you heard Dolphins fan, Florida man in the back go, oh, okay. our only cool thing, really. But like him doing this is like so cool. Like it is so cool. I'm sure there'd be a lot of teams that would love him. Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, trade deadline for the NFL. This weekend's matchups are going to have a lot of say in what takes place. But on that note of one good game last week and then Thursday becomes another double-digit win for a team, there's a game this weekend that's a guaranteed lock.
Bart, 4:25 on Sunday, I believe. Chiefs playing the Buffalo Bills. What do you expect from this game? Who do you think is going to win? And are the Chiefs full with the Chiefs again? Are they back and going to make a run for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs are as hot as anybody in football, hottest team going. I think they're the second best team in the NFL right now behind Detroit. So offense is clicking. They put Rasheed and Travis next to each other. It's just a problem. Right now, Patrick throwing the ball to either of those guys, Rasheed Rice or Travis. He's 52 of 67 for over 600 yards. And of those 600 yards, 351 of them are yards after the catch. And so, like, if you watch defenses, AJ, you would speak to this. Like, when they put those two guys next to each other, it's so hard to defend because you have to have so many eyes on them, because they're both in the middle of the field, that like they attract so much of your attention, and then all of a sudden there's Worthy running down the field like uncovered. And so how does that happen? And then the reality is you want to have people near them, but you trust those people in space. You know, with a player like Kelsey, and you give him space, do you trust the person that's going to be quote unquote near them, zone or man? Do you trust them in space? I think this game comes down to both defensive lines. Neither defensive line has been very good this year. The Bills, without turnover, both just had some moments. Wait is there after some time away. That's just had some moments. Received some moments. But they haven't been getting it. You get 15 on this thing going down to the fourth quarter. And since the Bills were on fourth down, you got to get this dude on the ground because I don't think
Bart, you're starting to
Sound like Charlie Brown's parents, dude.
Yeah, it's starting to drift out a little bit. I think there's maybe, I don't know if it's when you hit something or make another noise, it drowns out yours in the back because these phones are so smart. And you look amazing, Bart. We can't hear what you're saying. No, don't do that. Don't do that. We'll call you back.
I think he comes back with a different.
What was he saying? He was saying defensive lines need to be.
Both defensive lines have played poor this year. And so the defensive line. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. He's sweating his ass off. Dano, yeah, I think that's what I look like right now as well. Oh, you have the AirPods in. That was definitely what it was.
Yeah.
Don.
You fool.
Well, now you're muted.
Now you're muted, I think.
I hear him now.
Dan.
There we go.
It wasn't Bart, guys. It was just a mask.
Oh.
Just a mask.
Oh, man.
Kind of pet.
I got another costume.
All right.
Here we go.
Cool.
Yes.
Han Solo.
Yeah, technically that's not the same, but same franchise, so yeah.
Oh, it's grandfather, I guess. Father's father. I am your father's father. Is what it actually is.
There we go.
That looks great. That looks. And let's do a testy. Father's father.
Does this sound better?
Yep.
Oh, you sound amazing. Hell yeah. Thank you for joining us, Mr.
Colo Red.
Okay, Hulkster, gonna need to be a little bit
Mr.
clearer.
Wren.
Mr. Wren on that. I appreciate the hell out of you. Hulkster, I didn't know you were such a big fan of the Star Wars franchise.
Oh, yeah, dude. You kidding me? I mean, Harrison Ford was always one of my favorites. He was a big-time Hulkamaniac. And then Adam Driver, the guy who played Kylo Ren, is actually a former Marine, I believe.
Hoorah.
Hoorah, indeed.
Princess Leia up there with you?
Yeah, she's a sweet gal.
That's nice, you Hulkster. Thanks for all this breaking news. Feels like you're really breaking a lot of news.
Do
on
what I
Heaven.
can, dude.
Heavenly Hulkster doing his thing. Okay, so Mr. Wren, whenever you think about this Chiefs-Bills game, if you're going to go back to say everything you were just said that we couldn't really hear, but in a much shorter, condensed version, what would that exactly be, Mr. Wren?
Yeah, I think this game comes down to what defensive line plays better than they have this year. Neither defensive line has been great. Buffalo's playing without Ed Oliver. Bosa's brought in. Bosa, you're brought in for a game like this. Vanessa's been okay. Rousseau's been fine. So, like, they're going to have to, at some point in the fourth quarter, Kansas City's going to have that third down, that fourth down. They got to get to Patrick. They got to make sure that Patrick's legs aren't used. And then vice versa, Kansas City's defensive line. Chris Jones has not been what Chris Jones has been. Karlaftis has been up and down. If I'm Josh Allen, this game, I got to score 30 to win. I'm going to hold the football. I'm going to make this defensive line chase me down. I'm going to try to create big plays because they can't necessarily in the rhythm of their pass game. whoever defensive line plays better, I think, wins the game.
I love that. I can't wait to see who does. What did Bengals just do? They they got a bunch of people asking for a trade. Okay, they've had 4 people request a trade in the last let's say 4 months, if you include Trey Hendrickson. Most recently, literally, I think yesterday or something like that. So Trey Hendrickson, Logan Wilson, we heard about that last week. McKinley Jackson, and then Mike Pennell. He was released, and he's back with the Chiefs now. Chris Jones is very pumped about that. There's a lot of people trying to get the hell out of Cincinnati. Now, the narrative is this: a couple of them came shortly after that players-only defensive meeting. Now, obviously, if you recall, Lou Anarumo, longtime defensive coordinator for the Bengals, is now defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. This is all on the defensive side of the ball, kind of this entire thing. Was Lou holding the entire place together? Like, what is your kind of takeaway on what's going on in Cincinnati? And on that note, we would like to say to the Cincinnati Bengals fans, we're sorry this is all happening to you guys, but this is a wild scene that this is taking place in an AFC North team that has just spent hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars on building their roster, trying to be in a Super Bowl window. That's the only reason why you pay everybody is because you're trying to win a Super Bowl. Now, that's how they feel. Is that a reality going into the season? I don't know. But guys coming out openly in 2025 saying we want to be traded in the middle of the season is pretty crazy, abnormal, Mr. Wren, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think, obviously, this was a team that was all in when it came to how they went through their offseason. They thought that Al Golden, the new defensive coordinator, would get this defense to play better, and some of their young pieces would step up. I think a player like DJ Turner has at the corner position, but the defense still is a very bad unit. Logan Wilson's Trey was the obvious one. Once they started to struggle and Joe went down, he's not signing back there. They don't appreciate him enough. I don't think Logan Wilson's been paid recently. I thought there was some noise about Logan last year wanting a new contract. I don't know if he got it or not. Logan Wilson's a really good linebacker. I would fully expect if they can get good value to move on from him. If I was a team like the Dallas Cowboys, I would be calling about Logan Wilson. It's crazy that within the last year, it's gone from, my gosh, this is a historical offense. Joe Burrow's unbelievable. If they could just get better, they'll get back in the Super Bowl race. And now it's like very dire future, it looks like, as of right now in Cincinnati.
Yeah, obviously not great whenever people are trying to get their ass out of there and willing to take a public hit. You know, because anytime a player comes out and says, I would like to be traded, he is also admitting that it's not working, right? So there's 2 people that are part of a relationship. So anytime anybody comes out negatively about each other, it's like, hey, we're both admitting fault here. At least I am. This is not working. I would like something new. Let's go to Cincinnati Bengal alumni, maybe ruler of the jungle someday, and a man who grew up as a Cincinnati Bengal fan, Edward Simpson. Your thought on the amount of players wanting out of Cincinnati, and what does that say to you, brother?
Well, I mean, I think when Logan Wilson, he was, they had some young kids step up and started playing well, so he was getting much a reduced role, I guess. The other guys, Mike Pennell, you saw how happy they were to get him back in Kansas City. I played with Mike in Green Bay, actually, or I should say the guy AJ who used to be me. I don't even know. I'm kind of like Inception. But
your dude played a dude disguised as another dude.
Edward Simpson did not.
Hey, Edward Simpson can fly.
Edward Simpson played in 1948. That was a long time ago, I think. But you were right after you.
No, yeah. You had my shoulder. We were wearing those leather.
I wore your shoulder pads.
You wore my leather helmet.
Yes. It was like springy inside. Good
Look
to see
what we
you.
did for sports.
We did a lot for sports.
But the Bengals are dead?
No, I do not think the Bengals are dead. Dano or Mr. Wren, is that right?
Kylo.
What do the Bengals look like next year, Mr. Wren? Like, what's the record? Obviously, let's assume Joe Burrow's back. Joe Burrow's back. What do they look like? Can they stop somebody next year defensively?
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, I think the number one question is Zach Taylor the coach? That's a fair question to ask, given what's kind of transpired over the last year or two. I think Zach Taylor's a really good coach, but it's been a while now in Cincinnati. Joe hasn't been able to stay healthy, so I think it's fair to say the scheme that is deployed, while it's allowed for a ton of success, has it also been a part of, Joe being a little bit more exposed to some hits? They're going to have to get a significantly better performing offensive line. The defense still can't tackle. So the defense has got to get much better at some of the basic fundamental stuff. So how does that happen? So who is Cincinnati next year? I think that it starts with what's the plan at coach? And then with Zach Taylor, they're going to have to, I think, philosophically change at least the way they approach football and how they want to play it, they can still be ridiculous offensively. They got to protect him much better, and they got to play significantly improved football on the back end of their in totality on defense.
Okay, it sounds like you're trying to go back to an older version of you there, didn't it? Now, I know, last year you became a good guy and said, I won't be nice, but you used to be an absolute killer out there.
Yeah.
Absolute killer.
Right,
and now you're saying, hey, what's Zach Taylor looking like next year? That's a good question. Jeez, Kylo. Jeez, they got a lot of season left. Now, obviously, Joe Burrow seemingly gets hurt because of what you're talking about with the offensive line. Did they try to address that? Yes. Have they really figured it out? No. And then when they spend money everywhere they spend money, everybody that knows football was like, is that a way? Is that a way to win Super Bowl? We shall see with the Bengals. People asking to be out of there. Now, let's talk about a team that did have Super Bowl aspirations this offseason as they were doing a bunch of stuff that nobody had really ever seen before. Coach Cower has a question for you.
Yeah, we'll start with that. And Kylo, when you see Dan, just apologize on all of Pittsburgh. He was right. We were wrong. They stink, okay? They should be 0-6. The record is a fraud. Anyways, Colts are visiting them this weekend. Is there any chance the Colts don't score 50 points against Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend? I'm going to be there for the celebration of the 20th anniversary of the 2005 Super Bowl team, an incredible team, a team that played defense. What do you think? How many of the Colts score this weekend?
Legends.
Yeah, I would be surprised if the Colts don't put up at least 35. I think the Colts have one of the most difficult offenses to match up with in the NFL. Here's where I am with Pittsburgh, Coach. Like, number one, defensively, do you just watch this team play against the run?
Mm-hmm.
They're too straight up. And JJ could talk to this better than I can. But, like, from an offensive perspective, if I want to run the ball against Pittsburgh, I don't think that they play with the proper pad level on a consistent basis to stop the run. They just don't. A little bit is their scheme. I've talked to Marcus about this because they're trying to two-gap, meaning they hold on to an offensive lineman. They're trying to peek which ways to run, but they're standing up.
Yeah, I know what a two-gap
so
is.
The run game, that's why they're struggling to stop the run in totality. And then the backers,
Don't throw a post.
the backers see that, and they're trying to get into a gap, and they'll sometimes get into the wrong gap. The thing that struggles with, or I see what they struggle with coverage-wise is this. For a couple years there, it was like they were so simple on defense coverage-wise. They didn't do anything other than, like, cover three, okay? This year, it looks like they've tried to change things, and they're trying to, like, confuse the quarterback in disguise. Here's the thing, though. When they do that, they're consistently out of position. They're trying to get so creative and so unique with some of their coverages that they're out of position, or this guy's late, or they're not getting to the right kind of zone area.
They're not Troy Polamalu.
Dude, when you do that from
Manti-Te'o is.
AJ knows this. Like,
He was unbelievable.
Connected on a string almost. And they're not.
So good.
That's why
Real
they get
talent.
voids in their defense.
All right. There's a lot of stats going on about the defense. What you're saying, probably very valid. All the Yinzers know is they spent a lot of money back there. And for them to be the problem, can't happen. Wouldn't happen in 2005 when Bill Cowher was chewing people out and spitting on faces if it wasn't going the right way.
No, I would have got on the boys. Peasy would have got on the boys. James Fair, 5-1 MVP would have gone on them. This would never would have happened. Big Hampton in the middle. Come on.
They can still turn around a lot of football left. And for you, Kylo, we appreciate you joining us. Also, Bart. And Dan, it appears. Wow, Dan Orlovsky.
Oh, shit. Dude.
Oh, and Bart. It's three-headed man. Oh, three-headed monster.
Oh.
This guy's a three-headed monster. We appreciate you, Dano. All right, we'll be back on the other side.